You know, I'm surprised to be talking to you from here in New York in the library of the Norwegian Church instead of packing and getting ready to go to Høstfest in Minot, which I've done for 27 years. Very disappointing. I feel like I'm really a part of what Høstfest does in terms of what's called Høstfest in the schools. Years ago, I first came to Høstfest in 1993 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the birth of the Norwegian composer Edvard Grieg. I had a wonderful time, and I couldn't believe that 65,000 people had come to Minot for Høstfest. Norsk, of course, is Norwegian. Høst is autumn, and fest is festival. Anyway, it was a wonderful experience, and when it was over, I sat on the plane ready to come back to New York and thought, wow, that was a great experience. And I thought, that's that. Well, I think it was only 2 months later, I got a call from Pam Davey, who runs the program at Høstfest, and she said, we want you to come back. And I said, well, what am I going to do? And she said, come back as a storyteller. So I decided the thing to do was tell the stories of Hans Christian Andersen. So I came back to Høstfest, talked to Chester Wrighton, the big chief, and Pam Davey, and Chester said, you know, storytelling is really a kind of intimate thing to do. How is that going to work in these big halls? Well, we tried it a few times, and it was okay, but it wasn't great. So I suggested, send me to the schools. So I visited many Minot schools telling the stories of Hans Christian Andersen. And guess who my chauffeur was? Lowell Latimer, a great educator. He's retired now, but a great educator in Minot. And I would get back in the car and he would say, how did it go? And I would say, I had a wonderful time, which I did every time. And then I'd say to him, you know, you need to send the Vikings, the musicians, the singers, and the dancers out to the schools. So then I think 3 years later in 1998, Høstfest in the schools became a reality where, especially I'm thinking now of the Vikings, or even Hans Christian Andersen, what you read comes to life because all of a sudden there are Vikings in the appropriate dress standing in front of you. And it makes it real. So the idea of going off campus into the schools, bringing the idea of, as Chester Wrighton would refer to it, heritage and continuum in what's good about your heritage, bringing that into the schools. I love being a part of it. And you have several people, many people, to look forward to that are going to come to you, not in person, but on film. What is it called? Virtual, right? Yeah. Anyway, I know you're going to enjoy it.